Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We will continue with the reading from Antya Lila of Sri Caitanya Charitamrita. Chapter number 12 we will begin today. The loving dealings between Lord Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu and Jagadānanda Pandit. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim. Yat kripa tamham vande Shri Gurum Deen Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Caitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. A summary of the 12th chapter is given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrit Prabha Bhashya as follows. This chapter discusses the transformations of ecstatic love that Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu exhibited day and night. The devotees from Bengal again journeyed to Jagannath Puri to see Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu as usual. The leader was Shivananda Sen, who travelled with his wife and children. Because arrangements were delayed en route and Lord Nityananda did not have a suitable place to reside, he became somewhat disturbed. Thus he became very angry with Shivananda Sen, who was in charge of the affairs of the party, and kicked him in loving anger. Shivananda Sen felt highly favored to have been kicked by Nityananda Prabhu, but his nephew Shrikant Sen became upset and therefore left their company. He met Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu at Jagannath Puri before the rest of the party arrived. That year, a devotee named Parmeshwar Das Modak also went with his family to see Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu at Jagannath Puri. The devotees often invited Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu to eat with them. When the Lord bade them all farewell, he talked very pleasingly with them. The year before, Jagadānanda Pandit had been sent to Shachi Mata with prasad and cloth. This year, he returned to Puri with a big pot of floral-scented oil to massage Lord's head. The Lord, however, would not accept the oil, and because of his refusal, Jagadānanda Pandit broke the pot in front of him and began to fast. The Lord tried to pacify him and asked Jagadānanda Pandit to cook for him. Jagadānanda Pandit became so pleased when Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu accepted his cooking that he broke his fast. Verse 1. Shruyatam Shruyatam Nityam Giyatam Giyatam Muda Chintyatam Chintyatam Bhaktash Chaitanya Charitram. O devotees, may the transcendental life and characteristics of Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu be always heard, chanted and meditated upon with great happiness. Verse 2. Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jai Tayamaya Jai Jai Nityanand Kripa Sindhu Jai. All glories to Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu, who is all merciful. All glories to Nityanand Prabhu, who is an ocean of mercy. Verse 3. Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Karuna Sagara Jai Gaura Bhakta Gana Kripa Purnantara. All glories to Advaita Acharya, who is also an ocean of mercy. All glories to all the devotees of Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu, whose hearts are always filled with mercy. Verse 4. Ataha para Mahaprabhura Vishanna Antara Krishnera Viyoga Dasha Sphure Nirantar. The mind of Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu was always morose because of continuously manifested feeling of separation from Krishna. Verse 5. Haha Krishna Prana Nath Vrajendra Nandana Kaha Yana Kaha Pana Murali Vadana. The Lord would cry, O my Lord Krishna, my life and soul, O son of Maharaj Nand, where shall I go, where shall I attain you, O Supreme Personality who plays with your flute to your mouth. Verse 6. Ratri Dina Ei Dasha Swasti Nahi Mane Kashte Ratri Gonaya Swarup Ramananda Sane. This was his situation day and night. Unable to find peace of mind, he passed his nights with great difficulty in the company of Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai. Verse 7. Eta Gauda Deshe Prabhura Yata Bhakta Gana Prabhu Dekhi Bare Sabe Karila Gamana. Meanwhile, all the devotees journeyed from their homes in Bengal to see Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Verse 8. Shivananda Sen Ar Acharya Gosani Navdvipe Sab Bhakta Haila Ekathani. Headed by Shivananda Sen, Advaita Acharya and others, all the devotees assembled in Navdvip. Verse 9. Kulin Grama Vasi Ar Yat Khanda Vasi Ekatra Miliba Milila Sab Navadvipe Asi. The inhabitants of Kulingram and Khanda village also assembled at Navadvip. Verse 10. Nityananda Prabhure Yadyapi Agya Nai Tathapi Dekhite Chalena Chaitanya Gosani. Because Nityananda Prabhu was preaching in Bengal, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had ordered him not to come to Jagannath Puri that year. However, he went with the rest of the party to see the Lord. Verse 11. Shrivasadi Chari Bhai Sangete Malini Acharya Ratnera Sange Tanhar Grihini. Srivas Thakur was also there with his three brothers and his wife Malini. Acharya Ratna was similarly accompanied by his wife. Verse 12. Shivananda Patni Chale Teen Putra Lena Raghav Pandit Chale Jhali Sajana. The wife of Shivanand Sen also came along with their three sons. Raghav Pandit joined them, carrying his famous bags of food. Verse 13. Datta Gupta Vidyanidhi Arayat Chana Dui Tina Shata Bhakta Karila Gamana. Vasudev Datta, Murari Gupta, Vidyanidhi and many other devotees went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Altogether, they numbered 200 or 300. Verse 4. Shachi Mata Dekhi Sabe Tandra Agyalena Anande Chalila Krishna Kirtan Kariya. The devotees first saw Shachi Mata and took her permission. Then in great happiness they started for Jagannath Puri, congregationally chanting the holy name of the Lord. Verse 15. Shivananda Sen Kare Ghati Samadhan Sabare Palan Kari Sukhe Lena Yan. Shivananda Sen managed the payment of tolls at different places, maintaining everyone. He guided all the devotees in great happiness. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ghati refers to the different toll booths used by the zamindars to collect taxes in each state. Generally, this tax was collected to maintain the roads governed by the various zamindars. Since the devotees from Bengal were going to Jagannath Puri, they had to pass through many such toll booths. Shivanand Sen was in charge of paying the tolls. Zamindar is landlords. Verse 16. Sabar sab karya karena dena vasasthana Shivananda jane udiya pathera sadhana. Shivanand Sen took care of everyone and gave each devotee places to stay. He knew all the paths leading to Odisha. Verse 17. Ek din sab log ghati yale rakhila sabha chadana Shivananda ekala rahila. One day when the party was being checked by a toll collector, the devotees were allowed to pass and Shivanand Sen remained behind alone to pay the taxes. Verse 18. Sabe giya rahila gram bhitar vrikshatale Shivananda vina vasasthana nahi mile. The party went into a village and waited beneath a tree because no one but Shivanand Sen could arrange for their residential quarters. Verse 19. Nityananda Prabhu bhokhe vyakul hena Shivananda gali pade vasana pana. Nityananda Prabhu meanwhile became very hungry and upset because he had not yet obtained a suitable residence. He began calling Shivanand Sen ill names. Verse 20. Tina putra maruka shivar ekhana naila bhukhe mari genu mor avasa na deu yaila. Shivananda Sen has not arranged for my residence, he complained, and I am so hungry I could die because he has not come. I cursed his three sons to die. Verse 21. Shuni Shivanandera patni kandite lagila hena kale Shivananda ghati haite aila. Hearing this curse, Shivanand Sen's wife began to cry. Just then Shivanand returned from the toll station. Verse 22. Shivanandera patni tandre kahena kandiya putra sap Shap Tichena Gosani Vasa Napana. Crying, his wife informed him, Lord Nityananda has cursed our sons to die because his quarters have not been provided. Verse 23. Teno kahe bauli kene maris kandiya maruka amar tin putra tandra balai lena. Bauli means crazy woman. Like in Hindi it is said Bavali. So in Bengali it is Bauli. Shivananda Sen replied, You crazy woman, why are you needlessly crying? Let my three sons die for all the inconveniences we have caused Nityananda Prabhu. Verse 24. Eta bali Prabhu pashe Gela Shivananda Uti Tandre Lati Maila Prabhu Nityananda. After saying this, Shivananda Sain went to Nityananda Prabhu, who then stood up and kicked him. Verse 25. Anandit Haila Shivaye Pad Prahar Pana. Shigra Vasa Ghar Kaila God Ghare Giya. Very pleased at being kicked, Shivananda Sain quickly arranged for a milkman's house to be the Lord's residence. Verse 26. Charane Dhariya Prabhure Vasaye Lena Gela. Vasa Diya Rishta Hena Kahite Lagila. Shivananda Sain touched the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu and led him to his residence. After giving the Lord his quarters, Shivananda Sain, being very pleased, spoke as follows. Verse 27. Aji more britya kari angikar kaila yemana aparad brityera yogya phaladila. Today you have accepted me as your servant and have properly punished me for my offense. Verse 28. Shasti chale kripa kar e tomar karuna. Trijagate tomar charitra bujhe kon jana. My dear Lord, your chastising me is your causeless mercy. Who within the three worlds can understand your real character? Verse 29. Brahmar durlabh tomar shri charan renu hena charan sparsha paila mor adham tanu. The dust of your lotus feet is not attainable even by Lord Brahma, yet your lotus feet have touched my wretched body. Verse 30. Aji mor safal haila janma kula gra karma, aji paino Krishna bhakti artha kama dharma. Today my birth, my family and my activities have all become successful. Today I have achieved the fulfillment of religious principles, economic development, satisfaction of the senses and ultimately devotional service to Lord Krishna. Verse 31. Shuni Nityananda Prabhura Anandamana Uti Shivanande Kaila Prema Alingana. When Lord Nityananda heard this, he was very happy. He rose and embraced Shivananda Sain in great love. Verse 32. Anandita Shivananda Kare Samadhana Acharyati Vaishnavere Dila Vasa Sthan. Being very pleased by Nityananda Prabhu's behavior, Shivananda Sain began to arrange residential quarters for all the Vaishnavas headed by Advaita Acharya. Verse 33. Nityananda Prabhura Sab Charitra Viparita Krudha Hena Lati Mari Kare Tar Hit. One of Sri Nityananda Prabhu's characteristics is his contradictory nature. When he becomes angry and kicks someone, it is actually to his benefit. Verse 34. Shivanandera Bhagina Shrikant Sena Nama Mamar Agochare Kahe Kari Abhiman. Shivananda Sain's nephew Shrikant, the son of his sister, felt offended and he commented on the matter when his uncle was absent. Verse 35. Chaitanyera Parishad More Matulera Khyati Thakurali Karena Gosani Tandre Mare Lati. My uncle is well known as one of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahāprabhu, but Lord Nityananda Prabhu asserts his superiority by kicking him. Verse 36. Eta Bali Shrikant Balak Age Chali Yana Sange Chadi Age Gela Mahaprabhu Rasthan. After saying this, Shrikant, who was only a boy, left the group and travelled on alone to the residence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse 37. Petangi Gaye Kare Dandavat Namaskar Govinda Kahe Shrikant Age Petangi Utar. Petangi is shirt and coat. Is take off your shirt and coat. When Shrikant offered obeisances to the Lord, he was still wearing his shirt and coat. Therefore Govinda told him, my dear Shrikant, first take off these garments. Verbert. One is forbidden to enter the deity room or offer anything to the deity while wearing a shirt or coat. In the Tantras it is said, Vastrenavrita dehastu yo naraha pranamed dharim Shvitri bhavati mudhatma sapta janmani bhavini. Anyone who offers respects and obeisances to the deity while wearing garments on the upper portion of his body is condemned to be a leper for 7 births. Verse 38. Prabhu kahe Shrikanta asiyache pana manodukha kichuna baliha karuka yate ihar sukha. As Govinda was warning Shrikant, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't bother him, let Shrikant do whatever he wants, for he has come here in a distressed state of mind. Verse 39. Vaishnavera Samachar Gosani Puchila Eke Ke Sabar Nam Shrikanta Janaila. Verse 4. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from Shrikant about all the Vaishnavas, and the boy informed the Lord about them, naming them one after another. Verse 40, Dukha pana asiyache e prabhura vakya shuni janila sarvagya prabhu eta anumani. When Shrikant Sen heard the Lord say he is distressed, he could understand that the Lord is omniscient. Verse 41, Shivanande Lathi Marila Iha na kahila eta Sabha Vaishnav Gana Asiya Milila. As he described the Vaishnavas, therefore he did not mention Lord Nityananda's kicking Shivanand Sen. Meanwhile, all the devotees arrived and went to meet the Lord. Verse 42, Puruvat Prabhu Kaila Sabar Milana Stri Sabadura Haite Kaila Prabhu Darshana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received them all just as he had in previous years. The women, however, saw the Lord from a distance. Verse 43, Vasa Ghare Puruvat Sabare Dev Yaila Mahaprasad Bhojane Sapare Bulaila. The Lord again arranged for the residential quarters of all the devotees and thereafter called them to partake of the remnants of food offered to Lord Jagannath. Verse 44, Shivananda Teen Putre Gosanire Milaila Shivananda Sambandhe Sabaye Bahu Kripa Kaila. Shivananda Sen introduced his three sons to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because they were his sons. The Lord showed the boys great mercy. Verse 45, Chota Putre Dekhi Prabhu Naam Puchila Paramananda Das Naam Sena Janaila. Lord Chaitanya asked the youngest son's name and Shivananda Sen informed the Lord that his name was Paramananda Das. Verses 46 and 47, Purve Yabe Shivananda Prabhu Sthane Aila Tave Mahaprabhu Re Tanre Kahite Lagila. E bar tumare ye Ibe Kumar Puri Das Bali Nam Dhariha Tahar. Once before the Shivananda Sen had visited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at his residence, the Lord had told him when the son is born, give him the name Puri Das. This was verse 47. Moving to verse 48, Tabi Mayer Garbhe Hai Se Saita Kumar Shivananda Ghare Gele Janma Haila Tar. The son was in the womb of his wife, and when he returned home, the son was born. Verse 49, Prabhu Agya Dharila Naam Paramananda Das Puri Das Kari Prabhu Karina Upahas. The child was named Paramananda Das in accordance with the Lord's order, and the Lord jokingly called him Puri Das. Verse 50, Shivananda Yabe Se Balake Milaila Mahaprabhu Padangushta Tar Mukhe Dila. When Shivananda Sen introduced the child to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord put his toe in the child's mouth. Purport. In this connection, one may refer to Antalila chapter 16, verses 65 and 75, 65 to 75 for information about the later manifestations of the Lord's mercy. Verse 51, Shivanandera Bhagya Sindhu ke Paibe Par Yandra Sab Goshti ke Prabhu Kahe Apnar. No one can cross over the ocean of Shivanand Saints. Good fortune, for the Lord considered Shivanand's whole family his own. Verse 52, Tabe sab bhakt lena karila bhojan govindere agya dila kari achamana. The Lord ate lunch in the company of all the other devotees, and after washing his hands and mouth, he gave an order to Govinda. Verse 53, Shivanandera Prakriti Putra Yavat Ethaya Amar Avesh Patra Tara Yen Paya. As long as Shivanand Sen's wife and children stay in Jagannath Puri, he said, they must be given the remnants of my food. Verse 54, Natiya Vasi Modak Tarnam Prameshwar Modak Veche Prabhur Vatira Nikat Tar Ghar. There was a resident of Nadia named Parmeshwar who was a confectioner living near the home of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse 55, Balak Kale Prabhu Tar Ghare Bar Bar Yan Dugdha Khand Modak Deya Prabhu Taha Khana. When the Lord was a boy, he would visit the house of Parmeshwar Modak again and again. The confectioner would supply the Lord milk and sweetmeats, and the Lord would eat them. Verse 56, Prabhu Vishaya Sneha Tara Balaka Kala Haite Sevatsra Seha Aila Prabhure Dekhite. Parmeshwar Modak had been affectionate towards the Lord since his childhood, and he was one of those who came that year to see the Lord at Jagannath Puri. Verse 57, Parmeshwar Muni Bali Dandavat Kaila Tare Dekhi Prabhu Prite Tahare Puchila. When he offered his obeisances to the Lord, he said, I am the same Parmeshwar. Upon seeing him, the Lord asked him questions with great affection. Verse 58, Parmeshwar Kushal Hao Bhal Haila Aila Mukundar Mata Asiyache Seha Prabhu Kaila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Parmeshwar, may you be blessed. It is Very good that you have come here. Parmeshwar then informed the Lord, Mukund Mata has also come. Verse 59. Mukundar Matar Naam Shuni Prabhu Sanko Chahaila Tathapi Tahar Prite Kichu Na Palila. Hearing the name of Mukundar Mata, Lord Chaitanya hesitated, but because of affection for Parmeshwar, he did not say anything. Purport: the sannyasi is restricted from even hearing a woman's name, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conducted himself very strictly in his vow. Parmeshwar informed the Lord that his wife Mukundara Mata had come with him. He should not have mentioned her, and therefore the Lord hesitated for a moment, but due to his affection for Parmeshwar, he did not say anything. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had known Parmeshwar Modak since his childhood, and therefore Parmeshwar did not think twice about informing the Lord of his arrival. Verse number 60. Prashraya Pagala Shuddha Vedgadhi na jane antare sukhi haila prabhu tar se gune. An intimate relationship sometimes make a person overstep formal etiquette. Thus, Parmeshwar actually pleased the Lord in his heart by his simple and affectionate behavior. Purport: Prashraya means affection, humility, faith, a demand for some special concession or indulgence in such a concession. Pagal means impudence, arrogance, and influence. Vedgadhi means cunningness, humor, beauty, expertise, learning, tricky behavior, and indications. Verse 61. Purvat Sabha Lena Gundicha Marjana Ratha Age Purvat Karila Nartana. All the devotees engaged in the cleansing ceremony of the Gundicha temple and danced in front of the Rath Yatra chariot just as they had done in the past. Verse 62. Chaturmasya Sabha Yatra Kaila Darshana Malini Prabhriti Prabhure Kaila Nimantrana. Translation: for 4 consecutive months the devotees observed all the festivals. The wives such as Malini extended invitations for lunch to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse 63. Prabhura Priya Nana Dravya ani yache desh haite se vyanjana kari bhiksha dena ghar bhate. From Bengal, the devotees had brought varieties of Bengali food that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu liked. They also cooked various grains and vegetables in their homes and offered them to the Lord. This was verse 63. Now moving to verse 64. Dine nana krida kare lena bhakta gana ratriye Krishna vichede Prabhu kare narodana. During the day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu engaged in various activities with his devotees, but at night he felt great separation from Krishna and used to cry. Verse 65. E mat nana lila chaturmasya gela goda deshe yaite tabe bhakti agya dila. In this way, the Lord spent the 4 months of the rainy season in various pastimes, and then he ordered the Bengali devotees to return to their homes. Verse 66. Sabha bhakta karena Mahaprabhura nimantrana sarva bhakte kahena Prabhu madhur vachan. All the devotees from Bengal would regularly invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for lunch, and the Lord would speak to them in very sweet words. Verse 67. Prati varshe aisa sabe amare dekhite asite yaite dukh pao bahu mate. All of you come to see me every year. The Lord said, to come here and then return must certainly give you a great trouble. Verse 68. Toma sabar dukh jani chahe nishidite toma sabar sang sukhe lobh bade chitte. I would like to forbid you to do this, but I enjoy your company so much that my desire for your association only increases. Verse 69. Nityanande agya dilun godete rahite agya langi aila ki pari balite. I ordered Sri Nityananda Prabhu not to leave Bengal, but he has transgressed my order and come to see me. What can I say? Verse 70. Ailena Acharya Gosani More Kripakari Prem Rine Baddha Ami Shudite Napari. Out of his causeless mercy upon me, Advaita Acharya has also come here. I am indebted to him for his affectionate behavior. This debt is impossible for me to liquidate. Verse 71. Moralagi Stri Putra Grihadi Chadiya Nana Durgam Patha Langhi Aisena Thana. All my devotees come here just for me, leaving aside their homes and families. They travel by very difficult paths to come here in great haste. Verse 72. Ami e nilachale rahi ye vasiya parishram nahi mur toma Sabar Lagia. There is no fatigue or trouble for me, for I stay here at Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, and I do not move at all. This is the favor of all of you. Verse 73. Sannyasi Manush Mor Nahi Kon Dhana Ki Diya Tumar Rina Karimu Shodhan. I am a mendicant and have no money. How can I clear my debt for the favor you have shown me? Verse 74. Deha Matra Dhana Tumai Kailun Samarpan Tahan Vikai Yahan Vechite Tumar Mana. I have only this body and therefore I surrender it unto you. Now if you wish, you may sell it anywhere you like. It is your property. Verse 75. Prabhu Vachne Sabar Dravi Bhut Mana Ajora Naine Sabe Karen Krandana. When all the devotees heard these sweet words of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their hearts melted and they began to shed incessant tears. Verse 76. Prabhu Sabar Gala Dhari Karena Rodana Kandite Kandite Sabai Kaila Alingana. Catching hold of his devotees, the Lord embraced them all and began to cry and cry. Verse 77. Sabai Rahila Kahe Keha Chalite Narila Ar Din Panch Saat E Mate Gela. Unable to leave, everyone remained there, and 5 to 7 more days thus passed. Verse 78. Advaita Avadhut Kichun Kahe Prabhu Pai Sahaje Tomar Gune Jagat Vikai. Advaita Prabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu submitted these words at the lotus feet of the Lord. The entire world is naturally obligated to you for your transcendental attributes. Verse 79. Abhare Tate Bandh Aiche Kripa Vakya Dore Tuma Chadi Keba Kahan Ya Bare Pare. Yet you bind your devotees again with your sweet words. Under these circumstances, who can go anywhere? Verse 80. Tabe Prabhu Sabakare Prabodh Kariya Sabare Vidaye Dila Susthira Hena. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu peacefully calmed them all and bade each of them farewell. Verse 81. Nityanande Kaila Tumina Aisha Bar Bar Tathaye Amar Sang Haibe Tomar. The Lord specifically advised Nityananda Prabhu, you should not come here again and again. You will have my association in Bengal. Verse 82. Chale sab bhakta gana rodan kariya Mahaprabhu raila gare vishanna hena. The devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began their journey crying while the Lord remained morosely at his residence. Verse 83. Nij kripa gune Prabhu bandhila sabare Mahaprabhura kripa rina ke shodite pare. The Lord bound everyone by his transcendental mercy. Who can repay his debt for the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Verse 84. Yare yaiche na chaye Prabhu Swatantra Ishwar tate tanre chadi lok yaye deshantar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the fully independent personality of Godhead and makes everyone dance as he likes, leaving his company. Therefore, all the devotees return to their homes in different parts of the country. Verse 85. Kashtera putali yena kuhake nachaye Ishwar charitra kichu bhujana nayaye. As a wooden doll dances to the will of a puppeteer, everything is accomplished by the will of the Lord. Who can understand the characteristics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Verse 86. Purvashe Jagadānanda aaye dekhi bare Prabhu agya lena aila nadiya nagare. The previous year, Jagadānanda Pandit, following the Lord's order, had returned to the city of Nadia to see Shachimata. Verse 87. Aira Charanayaye Karila Vandana Jagannathera Vastra Prasad Kaila Nivedan. When he arrived, he offered prayers at her lotus feet and then offered her the cloth and prasad of Lord Jagannath. Verse 88. Prabhura Nama Matare Dandavat Kaila Prabhura Vinati Stuti Matare Kahila. He offered obeisances to Shachimata in the name of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and informed her of all the Lord's submissive prayers to her. Verse 89. Jagadānande Pana Mata Anandita Mane Tenho Prabhura Katha Kahe Shune Ratri Tine. Jagadānanda's coming pleased Mother Shachi very much. As he talked of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she listened day and night. Verse 90. Jagadānanda Kahe Mata Kon Kon Dine Tomar Etha Ashi Prabhu Karena Bhojane. Jagadānanda Pandit said, "My dear mother, sometimes the Lord comes here and eats all the food you have offered." Verse 91. Bhojan kariya kahe anandit hena, mata aji khao yaila akant puriya. After eating the food, the Lord says, "Today mother has fed me up to my neck." Verse 92. Ami yai bhojan kari mata nahi jane, sakshate khai ami tenho swapna hena mane. I go there and eat the food my mother offers, but she cannot understand that I am eating it directly. She thinks that this is a dream. Verse 93. Mata kahe keta randhi uttama vyanjana, nimani aha khai ichha hai mor mana. Shachi Mata said, "I wish Nimai would eat all the nice vegetables I cook. That is my desire." Verse 94. Nimani khanache aiche haya mor mana, pache gyan haya muni dekhino swapna. Sometimes I think that Nimai has eaten them, but afterwards I think that I was only dreaming. Verse 95. E mata Jagadānanda Shachi Mata sane Caitanyera Sukha Katha kahe ratri dine. In this way, Jagadānanda Pandit and Mother Shachi talked day and night about the happiness of Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Verse 96. Nadiyar Bhakt Gane Sabar Milila Jagadānande Pana Sabe Anandit Haila. Jagadānanda Pandit met all the other devotees in Nadia. They were all very happy to have him present. Verse 97. Acharya milite tabe gela Jagadānande Pana Haila Acharya Anand. Jagadānanda Pandit thereafter went to meet Advaita Acharya, who also was very happy to have him. Verse 98. Vasudeva Murari Gupta Jagadānande Pana Anande Rakhila Ghare Nadena Chadiya. Vasudev Datta and Murari Gupta were so pleased to see Jagadānanda Pandit that they kept him at their homes and would not allow him to leave. Verse 99. Chaitanyera Marmakatha Shune Tandra Mukhe Apana Pasare Sabe Chaitanya Katha Sukhe. They heard confidential narrations about Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu from the mouth of Jagadānanda Pandit and forgot themselves in the great happiness of hearing about the Lord. Verse 100. Jagadānanda Milite Yae Ye Bhakta Ghare Se Bhakta Sukhe Apana Pasare. Whenever Jagadānanda Pandit went to visit a devotee's house, that devotee immediately forgot himself in great happiness. Verse 101. Chaitanyera Prema Patra Jagadānanda Dhanya Yare Mile Sei Mane Pailun Chaitanya. All glories to Jagadānanda Pandit. He is so favored by Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu that anyone who meets him thinks, how I have gotten the association of Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu directly. Verse 102. Shivananda Sen Grihe Yana Rahila Chandanadi Tail Dahan Ek Matra Kaila. Jagadānanda Pandit stayed at Shivananda Sen's house for some time and they prepared about 16 seers of scented sandalwood oil. Verse 103. Sugandhi Kariya Taila Gagari Bhariya Nilla Chale Lena Aila Yatan Kariya. They filled a large earthen pot with the aromatic oil and with great care Jagadānanda Pandit brought it to Nilachal, Jagannath Puri. Verse 104. Govindera Thani Taila Dhariya Rakhila Prabhu Ange Diha Taila Govinde Kahila. This oil was placed in the care of Govinda and Jagadānanda requested him, please rub this oil on the body of the Lord. Verse 105. Tabe Prabhu Thani Govinda Kaila Nivedana Jagadānanda Chandanadi Taila Aniya Chena. Govinda therefore told Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Jagadānanda Pandit has brought some scented sandalwood oil. Verse 106. Tandra Ichha Prabhu Alpa Mastake Lagaye Pittavayu Vyadhi Prakop Shant Hena Yai. It is his desire that your Lordship apply a little of this oil on your head so that blood pressure due to bile and air will be considerably diminished. Verse 107. Ek Kalash Sugandhi Taila Gaude Te Kariya Iha Aniyache Bahu Yatan Kariya. He prepared a large jug of it in Bengal and with great care he has brought it here. Tabu kahe Sanyasir Nahi Taile Adhikar Tahate Sugandhi Taila Param Dhikkar. The Lord replied, a sannyasi has no use for oil, especially perfumed oil such as this. Take it out immediately. Purport. According to Raghunandan Bhattacharya, the spokesman for the Smartha regulative principles, Pratah snane vrate shradhe dvadashayam grihane tatha madhya lepa samamam tailam tasmat tailam vivarjayet. If one who has taken a vow smears oil on his body while bathing in the morning, while observing the ritualistic ceremony like the Shraddh ceremony or on Dvadashi day, he may well pour wine over his body. Therefore, oil should be rejected. This word vrata vow is sometimes understood to refer to the sannyas vrat. Raghunandan Bhattacharya has also said in his book Tithi Tattva, Ghritam cha sar shapam tailam yat tailam pushpa vasitam adushtam pakva tailam cha tailabhyange cha nityashah. This means that clarified butter, ghee, mustard oil, floral oil and boiled oil may be used only by grihasthas or the householders. Verse 109, Jagannathe deha tail deep yena jwale tar parishram haiba param safale. Deliver this oil to the temple of Jagannath, where it may be burned in the lamps. In this way, Jagadananda's labor to manufacture the oil will be perfectly successful. Verse 110, E katha Govinda Jagadanandere kahila mon kari rahila Pandit kichuna kahila. When Govinda informed Jagadanand Pandit of this message, Jagadanand remained silent, not saying even a word. Verse 111. Dina dashe gele Govinda janaila arvar Panditera ichha taila Prabhu kare angikar. When 10 days had passed, Govinda again told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is desire of Jagadanand Pandit that your lordship accept the oil. Verse 112, Shuni Prabhu kahe kichu sakrodha vachana mardaniya ek rakh karite mardana. When the Lord heard this, he angrily said, why not keep a masseur to massage me? Verse 113, E sukha lagi ami karilun sannyas amar sarvanash tuma savar parihas. Have I taken sannyas for such happiness? This is verse 113. Accepting this oil would bring my ruination and all of you would laugh. Purport, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu declared himself a strict sannyasi. A sannyasi is not supposed to take help from anyone. Retaining a masseur to give him massages would indicate his dependence on others. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to follow very strictly the principle of not accepting anyone's help for his bodily comfort. Verse 114. Pathe aite tail gandhamore ye paibe Dari sannyasi kari amare kahibe. If someone passing on the road smelled this oil on my head, he would think me a Dari sannyasi, a tantric sannyasi who keeps women. Verse 159. Shuni Prabhura Vakya Govinda Mon Karila Pratah Kali Jagadananda Prabhu Sthane Aila. Hearing these words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Govinda remained silent. The next morning, Jagadānanda went to see the Lord. Prabhu kahe Pandita Tail Anila God Haite Ami Sannyasi Taila Napari Laite. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Jagadānanda Pandit, my dear Pandit, you have bought me some oil from Bengal, but since I am in the renounced order, I cannot accept it. Verse 117, Jagannathe Deha Lena Deep Yena Jwale Tomara Sakala Shram Haibe Safale. Deliver the oil to the temple of Jagannath so that it may be burned in the lamps. Thus your labor in preparing the oil will be fruitful. Verse 118, Pandita kahe ke tomare kahe mithya vani ami god haite tel kabhu nahi ani. Jagadānanda Pandit replied, who tells you all these false stories? I never brought any oil from Bengal. Verse 119, Eta bali ghar aite tel Kalasa Lena Prabhura Age Anginate Felila Bhangiya. After saying this, Jagadānanda Pandit took the jug of oil from the room and threw it down before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the courtyard and broke it. Verse 220. Tel bhangi se pathe nij ghar giya shuya rahila ghare kapat khiliya. After breaking the jug, Jagadānanda Pandit returned to his residence, bolted the door and lay down. Verse 121. Tritiya devase Prabhu tanre dware yana uthaha Pandit kari kahena dakiya. 3 days later, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the door of his room and said, "My dear Jagadānanda Pandit, please get up." Verse 112, Aji Bhiksha Diba Amai Kariya Randhane Madhyane Asiba Ebe Yai Darshane. I want you personally to cook my lunch today. I'm going to now to see the Lord in the temple. I shall return at noon. Verse 123, Eta Bali Prabhu Kela Pandit Utila Snana Kari Nana Vyanjan Randhana Karila. Randhana Karila is to cook. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this and left, Jagadānanda Pandit got up from his bed, bathed and began to cook varieties of vegetables. Verse 124, Madhyan Kariya Prabhu Aila Bhojane Pad Prakshalana Kari Dilena Asani. After finishing his noontime ritualistic duties, the Lord arrived for lunch. Jagadānanda Pandit washed the Lord's feet and gave him the Lord's sitting place. Verse 125, Sagrita Shalyan Kala Pate Stup Kaila Kalar Donga Bhari Vyanjan Chaudike Dharila. Translation: He had cooked fine rice, mixed it with ghee and piled it high on a banana leaf. There were also varieties of vegetables placed all around in pots made of banana tree bark. Verse 126, Anna Vyanjano Pari Tulasi Manjari Jagannathera Pitha Pana Age Ane Dhari. On the rice and vegetables were tulsi flowers, and in front of the Lord were cake, sweet rice, and other prasad of Jagannath. Verse 127, Prabhu kahe dvitiya pate bad anna vyanjan tomai amai aji ekatra karibe bhojan. The Lord said, spread another leaf with the helping of rice and vegetables, so that today you and I may take lunch together. Verse 128, Hastatuli rahena Prabhu na karena bhojan tabe pandit kahena kichu saprema vachan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept his hands raised and would not accept the prasad until Jagadānanda Pandit, with great affection and love, spoke the following words. Verse 129, Apane prasad laha pache muni laimu tomar agraha ami kemane kandimu. Please first take prasad yourself and I shall eat later. I shall not refuse your request. Verse 130, Tabe Mahaprabhu sukhe bhojane vasila vyanjanera Swad Pana Kahite Lagila. In great happiness, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then accepted the lunch. When he had tasted the vegetables, he again began to speak. Verse 131, Krodha Veshera Pakera Haya Aiche Swad Eta Janiye Tomai Krishnera Prasad. Even when you cook in an angry mood, he said, the food is very tasteful. This shows how pleased Krishna is with you. Verse 132, Apane khaibe Krishna tahar lagiya, tomar haste pak karaye uttama kariya. Because he will personally eat the food Krishna makes you cook so nicely. Verse 133, Aiche amrit anna Krishna kara samarpana, tomar bhagyera sima ke kare varnan. You offer such nectarian rice to Krishna, who can estimate the limit of your fortune? Verse 134, Pandit kahe ye khaibe se pak karta ami sab keval matra samagri aharta. Jagadānanda Pandit replied, he who will eat has cooked this. As far as I am concerned, I can simply collect the ingredients. Verse 135, Puna Puna Pandit Nana Vyanjan Pariveshe Bhaya Kichu na Balena Prabhu Khaena Harishe. Jagadānanda Pandit continued to offer the Lord varieties of vegetables. Out of fear, the Lord said nothing but continued eating happily. Verse 136, Agraha Kariya Pandit Karaila Bhojan Aradin Haite Bhojan Haila Dasha Guna. But Jagadānanda Pandit eagerly forced the Lord to eat so much that he ate 10 times more than on other days. Verse 137, Bar Bar Prabhu Utite Karena Mana Sai Kale Pandita Pariveshe Vyanjana. Again and again, when the Lord wished to get up, Jagadānanda Pandit would offer him more vegetables. Verse 138, Kichu Balite Narena Prabhu Khaina Tarase Na Khaile Jagadānanda Karibe Upavase. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not forbid him to feed him more. He just continued eating, fearful that Jagadānanda would fast if he stopped. Verse 139, Tabe Prabhu Kahena Kari Vinay Sammana Dasha Guna Khao Yaila Ebe Karasamadhan. The translation of this verse 139 is, At last the Lord respectfully submitted, My dear Jagadānanda, you have already made me eat 10 times more than I am used to. Now please stop. Verse 140, Tabe Mahaprabhu Uthi Kaila Achamana Pandita Anila Mukhavas Malya Chandana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood up and washed his hands and mouth while Jagadānanda Pandit brought spices, a garland and sandalwood pulp. Verse 141, Chandanadi Lena Prabhu Vasila Saisthane Amare Age Aji Tumi Karaha Bhojane. Accepting the sandalwood pulp and garland, the Lord sat down and said, Now in front of me you must eat. Verse 142, Pandit Kahe Prabhu Yai Karuna Vishram Mui Ebe Laib Prasad Kari Samadhan. Jagadānanda replied, My Lord, you go to take rest. I shall take prasad after I finish making some arrangements. Verse 143. Rasuira Karya Kari Kerache Ramaye Raghunath Inha Sabaye Dite Chahi Kichu Vyanjan Bhat. Ramai Pandit and Raghunath Bhatt did the cooking and I want to give them some rice and vegetables. Verse 144. Prabhu Kahena Govinda Tumi Ihani Rahiba Pandit Bhojan Kaile Amare Kahiba. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told Govinda, You remain here. When the Pandit has taken his food, come inform me. Verse 145. Eta Kahi Mahaprabhu Karila Gaman Govindere Pandit Kichu Kahena Vachan. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had said this and left, Jagadānanda Pandit spoke to Govinda. Verse 146. Tumi Shigre Yahan Karite Pad Samvahane Kahiya Pandit Ebe Vasila Bhojane. Go quickly and massage the Lord's feet. He said, You may tell him the Pandit has just sat down to take his meal. Verse 147. Tumare Prabhu Rashesh Rakhimu Dhariya Prabhu Nidra Gele Tumi Khaiha Asiya. I shall keep some remnants of the Lord's food for you. When he is asleep, come and take your portion. Verse 148. Ramai Nandai Ar Govinda Raghunath Sabare Bantiya Dila Prabhu Vyanjan Bhat. Jagadānanda Pandit thus distributed remnants of Lord's food to Ramai, Nandai, Govinda and Raghunath Bhatt. Verse 141. Apane Prabhura Shesh Karila Bhojan Tabe Govindere Prabhu Pathaila Punaha. He also personally ate the remnants of food left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then the Lord sent Govinda. Verse 150. Dekha Jagadānanda Prasad Pai Kina Pai Shigra Asi Samachara Kahibas Amaye. The Lord told him, Go and see whether Jagadānanda Pandit is eating, then quickly return and let me know. Verse 151. Govinda Asi Dekhi Kahila Panditera Bhojan. Tabe Mahaprabhu Swaste Karila Shayan. Seeing that Jagadānanda Pandit was indeed eating, Govinda informed the Lord, who then became peaceful and went to sleep. Verse 152. Jagadānande Prabhu Te Prema Chale Mate Satyabhama Krishna Yaiche Shuni Bhagavati. The affectionate loving exchanges between Jagadānanda Pandit and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued in this manner, exactly like the exchange between Satyabhama and Krishna related in Srimad Bhagavatam. That was 152 verse. Now moving on to verse 153. Jagadānandera Saubhagyera Ye Kahibe Sima Jagadānandera Saubhagyera Tenha Se Upama. Who can estimate the limit of Jagadānanda Pandit's fortune? He himself is the example of his own great fortune. Verse 154. Jagadānandera Prema Vivarta Shune Yei Jana Premera Swarup Jane Pai Prema Dhana. Anyone who hears about the loving exchanges between Jagadānanda Pandit and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or who reads Jagadananda's book Prema Vivarta, can understand what love is. Moreover, he achieves the ecstatic love of Krishna. Purport: the word vivarta means accepting something to be the opposite of what is appears. Here Jagadānanda Pandit appeared very angry, but this anger was manifestation of his great love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prema Vivarta is also the name of a book written by Jagadānanda Pandit. Therefore, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, uses the word Prema Vivarta to refer to one who reads the book or hears about Jagadānanda Pandit's relationships with Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In either case, such a person very soon achieves love of Krishna. Verse 155, Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade Yar Ash Chaitanya Charitamrit Kahe Krishnadas. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring the mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit, following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports to Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit Antya Lila, 12th chapter, describing Jagadānanda Pandit's loving dealings with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So next time we will start reading chapter 13, Pastimes with Jagadānanda Pandit and Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. Thank you for joining. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Shratopad ki Jai. Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo.